Hello, I'm Danica, joined today by Jim. We're from the Saskatoon Public Library. I love living in Saskatoon, and I'm so honored to be on Treaty 6 territory. It's a place where people have gathered to listen and tell stories for more than 10,000 years. And so I'm always honored to be in a space of telling and listening and reading. And today we're going to read some poetry from a Saskatchewan poet called Gerald Hill. Gerald is an educator, an encourager of poets. He was the Poet Laureate of Saskatchewan. And today we're going to read from his book, The Man from Saskatchewan, published by Cotto Books. The suite of poetry we're going to read is called The Man from Saskatchewan. And I always encourage people that if you get a chance to listen to a poet read their own poems, take it. There are readings in libraries and bookstores and other community events all over the province, most of the time. So today we are sharing from The Man from Saskatchewan. 1. When a man from Saskatchewan walks home, he can't see the end of it. Walking, I mean. There's no land like homeland. Love is a touchdown on a prairie afternoon. In a cold wind, you can't get away. He walks a straight line, makes up a melody long as the day is. The time he had a teacher who was always right. Her first name was Rose. His father had a crush on her. He walks and remembers Sundays. Everyone slept. Dad played hymns and sang along, adding more, oh. The cousins kept the turkey warm under the hood of a 64 Merc from Yorkton to Regina. When he walks, he takes his shirt off, goes bare as a pocket. He's plain, but his face is lined. He walks home by alleys as if the only door is a back door, a screen door slamming. When he walks home, he won't talk until not talking hurts. But it never hurts. He loves a woman who won't love him. The sun never sets, but does burn. Sweetly, 160 aches, a sky full of haze.
Number 2. He sings and drives whatever's on the AM radio. Once he picked up CKIK Missoula, drove past midnight to get there. Turns out someone with his name and body had taken a shot at a cop. They cuffed the man from Saskatchewan, held him 3 hours, released him only when he lifted his shirt and showed his tattoo, a Chevrolet on a gravel road with a man at the wheel singing Touraloos.
3. He speaks slowly, unless the wind picks up. Get him liquored and he'll babble like birds, wake you up before you're ready. Most of the time, his mouth is full with grass, toothpicks, sunflower seeds. He chews, spits what he'd otherwise say. He slows down when he's in a hurry. Every sound cues dozens more, which never lived to tell of it. You might as well go on without him. In a while, his speech will rush, ignite, sputter the air with seeds. Jump him, he'll stammer. Seduce him, he'll gasp. Get him mad, he'll thump the table, raise his voice, stand up as if he's finished with you, and that's all he'll say.
Number 4. A fly ball to left field takes forever to fall. The man from Saskatchewan drifting under it reads what the ball says. Hawks! Sees it spin in the left field sky. Here it comes, his next sensation. He loves making the catch, the solitude after. Lazy. His mind replays and subsides. No one remembers he's there. Mine! He shouts. And it is, if it ever comes down. Number 5. One by one, his sisters leave the prairies, marry tradesmen in BC, eat fruit, fish, name the new growing, drive through the valleys to the sea and back in a day. Life's a beach. The man looks west across the truth about Saskatchewan, a long way to sundown. What's it like to be so far away? Number 6. Empty of invention, he invents emptiness, a lone moan from Saskatchewan. His heart won't care, junk in its corner a bit unmade. It's a holiday. He'll make himself full from the last piece of bread, spend his time watching at a window, losing sight. He's used up the last of his blood. He's used up the next few good things he can do. It gets that way sometimes.
Anecdote of the hockey game. 7. A 12-year-old boy enters dressing room 8, dumps his equipment, sits down. The old-timers pack up and leave. A man named Roger, number 27, a man from Saskatchewan, calls the boy over. I'll tell you a few things, he says. Listen. Out on the ice, the kid plays more quietly than usual. Can't get him to say a single word. Can't see where he is. Sometimes you hear him ahead, then behind. The kid skates miles and back, doesn't mind darkness or light, doesn't mind what gets in his way. The masked faces, the red and blue lines. He never gets where he's going, but is always there, driving a loose puck home. With the game at its darkest, he glides across the blue line. No one from him to the goalie. He loses himself in the next few moves, breaks in alone, and lights up the red light just like the man from Saskatchewan told him. 8. Bio. He's never flown, never cheated at cards. He's so honest he gives back your hearts. He did win something once, an easy chair. He's never sung and hasn't run for 30 years, hasn't buried anything. He still wears the same shirts, won't stay at your place very long. He's never been south of the border. He does things the hard way and only drives cars made of steel. For sex, there's always Margaret, or in his dreams, Barbara Stanwyck. He loves water in sloughs. He can't swim. He's given up football, but curls, plays cribs, will fish if someone's with him. He beefs up when there's work to be done.
Number 9. He desires what she'd be if she were real, if she were here, not in the lines of another man taking forever to end, the two of them carrying light away. Bells ring. The man from Saskatchewan recalls sunsets redundant, the light so pure, here to horizon, her eyes on him there, a sure thing facing the sea. Bells ring. Her 3-string music caught him. He stayed until the light wore off. No lie, horizon's the line they gave each other.
10. Forgive him. He committed self-love north of the Abbey, took matters into his own hand, as it were, kept a date with 5-fingered Mary. Bad enough those sons of Onan spill their seed on ground already fulsome with seed, and that the flora is befouled and the creatures flushed, and that shame weaves through the abbey grounds, and that a grey cloud releases itself above. Worse, he trespassed, could not stop himself from crossing through the spruce trees, up a short path, into the open where he came upon the Canadian National Railroad, like coins melting softly on the trails. Just then, the 1140 from Kenora appeared, jaw first, crying out like Yahweh himself, charging to smite the chastened Onanist who meekly folds away into the trees. Onan, why not obey? Lie with your sister-in-law, provide her with child. Oh man, instead of turning away at the holy moment to scatter your sons over the land. 11. The man from Saskatchewan begins every morning with a line about birds. Light, overnight rain. 2 hops of particles of dew mark the margins of creation. A cyclist loses his mind around a corner. Crow, crow, neighbor, crow, cars. Today, this all makes sense. At the back of his eyes, light gets in, overdubbed with birds. Time rolls by. The man plays easy to get. Tells himself, dew's a dazzler. Squints. Bruises his eyes with tumbles of shiny coins. Today, that's all he's remembered so far. Oh yes, sunglasses. The sun's so bright, after a while he can barely see himself think. Sense a buzz. The morning has a word with him. No wonder he's looking out.
The man eats from both sides of his plate to keep it level. He damn near tips over, eats enough for 1 man twice. His belly's in a tower abundant. His belly tolls for 3. The moon's back early. The berries double in their bushes all night. The next day is ready. 10 rows of corn, no crows. Every trail leads to a shrine. The spruce trees smell him. Tall grass throws its hats in the air. The seeds taste perfect where they fall. Number 13. It's nights that make him tired. He sleeps in the afternoon, slowly redreaming the hours 1 to 3, falling like sound from bells. Last night shone loudly. Nightbirds poked at the stars. Something made them new. He lit a candle and told the woman from Ontario what follows blue, what's in silhouettes, what you have to do to see at night. By midnight, he's all starred out, can't hold anymore, can barely pull his eyes closed over them. The last thing he hears is the sound of someone seeing.
"14. Saskatchewan content. Good night, he says, the last thing, closing the book with a view of you. Jokes about Ontario. 100 years of history on the prairies. The basement of the Hotel Sask, or what the CPR means to me. Unwritten poems the size of Dumont. Good night, he says. Turn the wheel and you're there. One morning at the all-night drive-in. West of Saskatchewan, he's a poet from the east. Hawk in the archives. A mood, one look, many faces. Good night after all these years. And these were poems from Gerald Hill's book, The Man from Saskatchewan, published by Cotto Books.